Mercenaries today, but I thought I would do bojack Horseman instead. The reason why I picked this show was because it just popped up on my Netflix queue like 2 days ago, and I didn't really hear anything about it. I saw that Will Arnett was in it, so I thought I'd check it out, and I marathoned it through Saturday and today, and I actually really enjoyed it. For those of you who don't know what BoJack Horseman is, it's this animated cartoon show that stars Will Arnett, Alison Brie, Amy Saunders, Paul F. Tompkin, Aaron Paul. Basically, BoJack Horseman, it was used to be this like big celebrity in the 80s and 90s. He was on this TV show called Horsing Around that it's kind of like one of those Full House kind of sitcom sort of things. But in this world, it's inhabited by a mix of anthro animals and creatures and actual humans. So Horsing Around was about an actual anthro horse who adopted these three orphans. But the actual show, BoJack Horseman, it's like about him after the show is done. He's like washed up and he's a major fucking asshole. And the first season basically focuses on this girl named Diane who's ghostwriting his memoirs, who is in a relationship with this not his co-star, but basically his competitor star, whose name is Mr. Peanut Butter. He's a dog who basically made his own sitcom that was a ripoff of Horsing Around called Mr. Peanut Butter's House. And Diane and Mr. Peanut Butter kind of have a relationship, but I don't know, like it's a very straightforward plot, but the emotion of the show basically is the emptiness and sadness of celebrity life. Like, some of the characters are spoofs of actual celebrities. There's like a Quentin Tarantino celebrity in there that you see that's a tick or a spider. Andrew Garfield is actually Andrew Garfield. Cameron Crowe, who is a raven. There's like this rather funny little joke where he's like, no, my name might be Crow, but I'm not a crow, I'm a raven. I hate it when people make that distinction. Don't make that distinction. But this was, like I said, it was a good show. The first 5 episodes aren't the best. They're okay. Like, they're funny, but not like ha-ha funny. You have to look for the jokes, more or less. Like, I don't want to say dry humor, but it's a very depressing show, but there's like kind of like awkward laughs within the show, like how some of the satires they make at times, or just like how bitter BoJack is a lot of the time is funny, and just the interactions and the way the different anthros are is funny. Like his agent, played by Amy Saunders there. She's a cat. Her name is Princess Caroline, and on her desk there's like a cat toy that when she's talking to BoJack, you'll see her like paw at it. Or when she exercises, you see her like climbing this giant scratch post, or just like weird little things like that. Or Mr. Peanut Butter, he got arrested for chasing the mailman, like in his car, like stalking him. Just weird shit like that. Like a security guard in one episode was an electric eel with a taser. Just weird little play on words or play on animal quirks that make the show good. But there's a few episodes. I'd say my favorite episodes are the finale, the episode before the finale, and episode 8. The episode 8 is my favorite because one of my favorites because it shows who BoJack used to be before he got famous, and how he wasn't always this bitter individual. How the girlfriend of his co-star, or the creator of Horsing Around, that he used to be friends with in like the comedy clubs, his girlfriend, it was like a deer, and she said, I hope fame doesn't change you. California used to be built on top of tar pits, and before you know it, you'll be sinking. And when you realize that you're sinking, it'll be too late. She exits the show after that, but she appears again in a flashback. Another, I'm not going to say flashback, but a drug trip that bojack takes, and he kind of pictures his life if he had went with her, and like he's happy, he's not like bitter. The scenes with her are actually really good, and I'm hoping they explore her character a little bit more, because it says she moved away to Maine, and I'm hoping she'll be in it next season. But the finale was actually really good too. Like, it didn't end on a happy note, but it kind of like more or less closed up the stories. Like, the entire first season was basically about him getting his novel written, and him trying to come out of I'm not going to say retirement, but him not being as washed up. And the finale, basically, he got the role that he wanted to play his entire life, which was that of Secretariat, a famous horse, I guess. I'm not sure if it's a real famous horse or if it's just a character they made up in the show. But he got to play Secretariat, and it just kind of ends with him at like a dock with like the sightseeing binoculars, and him signing an autograph, and the person who he signed the autograph for walks away, and he just sits, like he just leans up against the pier, and it just kind of like cuts to black. Like, that there's still an emptiness there, that no matter how famous you are, it'll always be fleeting. I don't know, this is kind of a weird, like, subject that I've been encountering in shows I've been watching. Like, Wilfred kind of touched on it there in the ending of the finale about happiness, that the brightest fireworks always burn out. The conversations always end. That you have to enjoy life for moments and whatnot. And this show was actually a very kind of good example of that. That bojack always wanted to be famous because he wanted people to love him, but he can't please everyone. He has to appreciate the people who actually care about him and help those people. My main problem with this show is that bojack, his character for the first like 5 or 6 episodes, is just such a bitter asshole that there's no sympathy for him whatsoever. The only reason I actually continued to watch the show is, yeah, it was actually kind of not funny, but it was interesting. I'd like this, like, bleak, desolate look at celebrityism. And Will Arnett makes this character. Like, without Will Arnett's voice behind it, I don't think it would have been as good. You don't really feel any other characters, I find. Like, I don't know, I think if I'd known Aaron Paul played his roommate, like voiced his roommate, I still probably would have known. Like, if I hadn't have found out that it was Aaron Paul, I still probably would have noticed, because in some of his inflections you can feel that it's him. Not the Jesse Pinkman Aaron Paul, but you do kind of recognize it. Alison Brie, when she gets mad in 1 or 2 scenes, you can kind of hear the same voice she used when she played Princess Unikitty in Lego movies. So yeah, she's actually a really good voice actress too. She has a very distinct, like, fluttery, stereotypical, like, female voice. The girl who played Mel on Flight of the Conchords has a cameo in like 2 episodes as this coked out Lindsay Lohan / Olsen twins character that used to be on the show. That the episode basically says that bojack didn't cause it, celebrityism did, but he didn't help by anything that he said. And that was another really good episode. But if you're going into this expecting a comedy, like laugh out loud, balls to the wall comedy, then don't watch it, because you're not going to like it. This is kind of like Californication without the fucking, and with animals in it. Some other side characters that I kind of liked were Pinky Penguin, who's head of the book company that wants bojack to write this book. He's always like in debt or in trouble, and I swear to fuck he sounds like Patton Oswalt, but I couldn't find it anywhere on the credits or online. If any of you watching this video can find out who it is, post it in the comments, because I'd really like to know who that is. that does the voice because it sounds like Patton Oswalt. And another side character that pops up like halfway through the show in like episode 9 or so is Princess Caroline's, I don't even want to say crush, but technically he is Princess Caroline's crush, is a person called Vincent, who bojack repeats this point multiple times, that, okay, that is not a human being, that is 3 people in a trench coat. Little Rascals style. That's basically what it is. It's like these 3, like, teenagers, or not even teenagers, but like kids in a trench coat that are like, that's hanging around with Caroline and like pretending to be an adult. He goes by the name Vincent Adult Man, and he works at a business factory, and it's just a weird, like, they took it in a direction that's different. Like a lot of sitcoms or things would have made like stupid and cheap pedophile jokes, but what this show does is that, oh my god, he's a real man, he actually listens, and like, oh my god, he's talking about business all the time, he's like not paying attention, and it's like no one in the world except for Bojack seems to notice that this is 3 kids standing on each other's shoulders in a trench coat. It is one of the most peculiar things in the entire show, and anytime Bojack tries to bring it up, like, yeah, that's just 3 kids on top of each other's shoulders in a trench coat, they're like, oh, of course you'd be jealous of Vincent, he actually listens to me, or something like that. Like, I'm hoping they'll bring Vincent back in like the 2nd season, just, I don't know, to actually end that plot line, like, have it actually show that Vincent is the 3 kids, and, like, have him out of the show, because the way it just ended with, him and Princess Caroline, like, getting back together. Weird, but funny, sort of thing. My other complaint about the show, in my mind, is the animation style. It's kind of like that weird, crappy animation style that you'd see in, like, the old Beavis and Butthead episodes or something. Like, it's very shitty, like, not shitty, but cheap. But it looks cheap, but they put money into it, basically. I really don't know what else to say about the show. The, characters, like I said, the characters were good. The characters were really 3-dimensional. And they made some jokes about how a lot of Hollywood characters aren't 3-dimensional. And I really hope we don't have another extras on our hands when it comes to the Nazi story in this. One of the movie plots in this that Princess Caroline wanted to get her people she had representing. That's the word, representing. The people she was representing. One of the films that she wanted to do was a romantic movie involving Ava Braun, and it was supposed to be like this serious, dramatic film. I'm really hoping that we don't have another extras situation where someone actually makes this into a film, because with extras, they kind of made a joke that, I think it's Kate Winslet, she would star in like a Nazi film and she would get like an award out of it, which lo and behold happened. I think it was called like The Writer or The Reader or something like that. I know it came out like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was like, she was a Nazi commandant's wife who slept with this like teenager or something like that. But that was just like a big joke that like, oh, extras predicted that this would happen. I hope it doesn't happen with this show. I'm not saying I wouldn't be against seeing an Ava Braun romantic movie, but it would just be interesting. But yeah, this was a really good show. Paul F. Tompkins plays the boyfriend of Diane, called Mr. Peanut Butter, and I really fucking hate his character. Like, he is one of the reasons why I want to stop watching the show. Not because Paul F. Tompkins doesn't do a good job. Paul F. Tompkins fucking awesome. It's just that Mr. Peanut Butter is such a douche. He's like one of those kind of like cool, hip celebrities who just, I don't know how to describe it, but he just rubs me the wrong way. And that's not just because Bojack hates his guts 100%. It's just he does rub me the wrong way. Like, just something about him. Like, if I saw him in person, I would punch him in the face. I don't know. He comes off as self-centered, but while still not being, while appearing normal. I don't know. He just comes off as overly fake. Like, Bojack's whole thing with him is like, he's too stupid to know that he shouldn't be this happy. And that's not really my problem with him. My problem with him is that he's fake happy. Really, like, no, he shouldn't be miserable, but he's just, I don't really know. He just rubs me the wrong way. Not only that, but one of his character animations is that, because he's a dog, his tongue is always sticking out like that, like you'd see with a dog. It's really, really annoying. It's one of those animations that rub me the wrong way when I see it. But yeah, if you have, I don't know, some time on your hands, go on to Netflix, check this out. Check out the first, I don't know, check out episode 8, in all honesty. Episode 8, I think, is one of the better. Episode 7 and episode 8, because one shows Princess Caroline and her trying to get Bojack back as her client when he's stolen by, Connie Gecko or something like that, who surprisingly enough is a human, not a gecko. But yeah, check out those 2 episodes. If you like them, you'll probably like the rest of the show. I find that the first 3 episodes aren't a good representation of the show at its heart. It's more representative of the show and how they're really trying to attempt comedy, and they're not doing a good job. I'm not saying it's not funny. Comedy is universal. Like, I found it funny, but I don't think a lot of other people would. Sort of thing. But it's on Canadian Netflix. I don't know if it's on, like, Netflix everywhere, but check out BoJack Horseman, in all honesty. I hope they bring this back for a second season sometime, because I'm really interested to see where this goes. I'm hoping that they'll explore more of, like, the girlfriend of BoJack's original partner in show business, and maybe have him rekindle a relationship with her at some point. And I'm really hoping that BoJack, at the end of the show, does not kill himself like Secretariat did. Because in the show, Secretariat got caught for cheating and jumped off a bridge. And, like, while he did, it was a very haunting scene. Like, while he did that, it was like playing audio of what he was saying before. Like, always keep running forward. There's never anything behind you. There's never anything in your life worth looking back on. Always keep running forward. And as that's playing, like, it's also saying, like, oh, how he got caught for cheating. He's banned from horse racing ever again. And when they're done that, you see him, like, jump off of a bridge. And it just says, oh, traffic is backed up because some fucking idiot parked his car on the bridge. And it cuts the opening credits. Like, the show has, like, deep, not heartful, but sad moments like that, where, yeah, celebrityism is kind of like this. Like, it is, at times, this soulless, heartless machine that will swallow you up and spit you back out without 2 shits given. But check it out. It's actually a really good show. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Next week I might do Mercenaries. I have some shit that I need to take care of next week, but I'm going to be doing The Strain on Monday, and before I leave to go up and do my stuff, I'm going to try posting another episode. I might even try to get Mercenaries done, but see you next time.